Hey, what's up, everybody? It's BDF44 coming at you with another video. So, check this out. I'm starting to hear rumors about Ben Simmons going to the Warriors more and more, and I realize that I may have touched on it briefly, but I don't think I zeroed in on it. So I'd like to try to do that right now, just see what comes about. So, in my mind, the way I look at the Ben Simmons on the Warriors is, first of all, he's going to have to play a forward position. He's going to have to play the four, man. I don't want him taking the ball out of Steph Curry's hands as it pertains to him being a playmaker. They should share those duties, and the balance for them to do that does seem a little weird. I'm not going to lie. In my mind, Ben Simmons should be the primary ball handler surrounded by shooters. But if he goes to Golden State, that dynamic doesn't appear to work. Unless Steph Curry decides he just simply wants to play off the ball. As to which he would move to the 2. Clay moves to the 3, which is, of course, comfortable for Clay. He always played the 3, and now that he's coming back from injury, it would probably be better for him to play the 3. Just for a little while anyway. I'm sure he'll get back to his normal self soon. But, while he's a bit slower, he probably would want to play the 3. So maybe that works a little better than I kind of see it. But, and look, the skill set of Ben Simmons is that of somebody who is a passer, as somebody who can get to the line. Well, not get to the line. That's not what I'm trying to say. Someone who can get down the lane and drive down the lane with ease with his athleticism. It will result in him getting to the line, even though he's not very good at shooting free throws, to say the least, unfortunately for himself at this point. So, that better conveys the thought. But he can get to the lane easily. When he gets his confidence up, he's a triple-double threat waiting to happen every night, because he's always going to have abilities to get assists, and on this team, he will get a lot of them. And he's always going to have the ability to get rebounds. And 2, he's always going to have the ability to be an elite NBA defender. And that's what the Warriors are picking up here. An elite NBA defender. Let that not be lost in all of his struggles and all of his shooting woes and all that. He is going to help your defense tremendously when he comes onto your team. And teams need to really understand that. For now, you view him as a defensive player and you work on his offense from there. That's the smart money way to play it. Because if you're expecting a lot out of him offensively, if you're expecting his confidence to come back offensively, I believe it will. But there's a good chance it's going to take some time for that to happen. He's got to work on a lot. And on the defensive end, he won't. He's got that part down. That's going to be easy. That comes naturally, and he's gifted, and he's athletic, and that works. So, yeah, that's how you look at it. You're picking up like a big Tony Allen dude, and then with his passing ability, you can kind of work him into being a Draymond Green type, and that's what he's going to be. He is Draymond Green's successor. I'm wondering if Draymond Green's going to be involved in the trade, because you don't need 2 of those guys. You don't. And while I don't think getting rid of Draymond Green coming off the year he had is the best move, because he's turned his career back to being a formidable assist player and rebounding player after having kind of some down years. He had a good year. I think he's primed to have a really good year if he's in a winning situation. And if the Warriors get rid of him, he's going to find himself in a winning situation. And that's going to bite them back. He's going to bite them in the back. He's going to hurt them. If he gets, let's say he goes to the Lakers, or let's say he goes to the Suns, he's going to hurt the Warriors. And I think they'd be better to have him on the team than not. And I don't know that Ben Simmons is an upgrade with the type of issues that he's coming off of. I normally would say, of course, he's an upgrade. But right now, going into next season, I don't know. We got to see. What we last saw was not a better player than Draymond Green, unfortunately. It's really sad to say. No offense to Draymond, of course, but this guy is younger. This guy is more talented than Draymond. But his shooting woes are far worse at this point. Far worse. And it is what it is. So at this point, Ben Simmons on the Warriors, it's a project, man. Anywhere Ben Simmons goes is a project. But he fits there better than most places because they have the shooting that he needs to kind of offset the fact that he does not shoot. And as I've said a million times, the most important thing for Ben Simmons this offseason is free throw shooting. Besides working on getting his confidence right, it's the free throw shooting. Because he can live without shooting 3-point shots, but he cannot be somebody who doesn't shoot free throws at a respectable manner. That can't happen because that removes his ability to drive down the lane, which will also remove his ability to make passes for others and keep the defense honest. And he just becomes a useless player on the floor offensively, a liability even, someone who takes away from the offense dramatically. So that will translate to losses for the Golden State Warriors if they don't come in with a plan for Ben Simmons or anyone else that picks him up. It will translate to losses. One of the reasons why I worked in Philadelphia is because they have the greatness of Joel Embiid always present, and he plays well off of that center, the great center. They're not going to have that in Golden State because they're probably going to trade away Wiseman in order to make this happen. I kind of think that Ben Simmons should have a center on his team that's reliable. I kind of think it's almost important that you have a big time center around him. So I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but you want to keep Ben Simmons in situations that look like he can flourish in them. And I do believe Golden State could be that, but they're going to have to continue to work on their roster if it's going to work right away. And I don't think that Ben Simmons makes them any more of a contender than they are right now. You have to see how Klay comes back. I mean, they're going to be elite next year regardless. But I think Ben Simmons kind of can create some problems that they don't need. Sort of like what Drummond did for the Laker roster this year. You know, it's like he wasn't bad, but there were times when he just didn't help us because there were certain things that he was deficient in that we really, really needed him not to be. And I think that's what it's going to be if the Golden State Warriors acquire Ben Simmons and he doesn't improve over this offseason. And this is something the Golden State Warriors are going to have to guard against. They are a three-point shooting team. You don't want to start bringing in non-shooters. You don't want to start that process of bringing in non-shooters. You got Draymond. Oubre's probably going to be gone. I don't know if you're going to bring him back. I think you're probably looking to move on from Wiggins, even though those guys are coming off pretty good years too. Well, Oubre off and on, but Wiggins had a really good year for himself, and I think you can get something for him. So you'll see what the roster is going to be for the Golden State Warriors. I think they'll make some moves with some of those pieces, and they got some guys on the back of that bench that they may either want to have take bigger roles or package themselves. So I like them to be trade guys in general. Even if Ben Simmons isn't the person they end up getting, they're going to be definitely active in the trade market. So yeah, man, at the end of the day, with Ben Simmons, he can help a lot if Klay Thompson doesn't come back strong or if he's not able to go right away, because they rely upon Klay to be a great defensive presence for them. I don't know what he's going to give you, but judging by how others have come back from their injuries, I'm pretty optimistic that we may see a very good Klay come back and get back to his all-star ways. I don't think he'll be able to take on the load, especially defensively, that he may have been able to in the past. I don't envision that he'll have the same speed or the same lateral movement. We'll see. Hopefully he does. But generally, I think he'll still be able to drop 50 or 60 on your head. I really do believe that his jump shot is so elite, and he has that so naturally that he's going to get right back to doing what he did. Just like KD, I expect the same thing from Klay. He's going to get back to being an elite basketball player on the offensive end. And you play games with a guy like that, he don't have to dribble the ball 3 times to get 30 points. He doesn't have to dribble the ball 3 times. I am serious to get 30 points. I'm very serious when I say that. I'm not exaggerating. Catch and shoot, catch and shoot, catch and shoot, catch and shoot. And I know a lot of us know that, but I think a lot of us have forgotten how exactly elite Klay Thompson is. We're going to remember. We're going to find out, though. Can't wait till that dude gets back. So it's going to be one of those situations where if they get Ben Simmons, Klay Thompson, and if I'm wrong about Klay and he's able to get back to his defensive ways, suddenly they have a defensive tandem that is going to be elite to the highest power on the defensive end. And you're looking at a Golden State Warrior team that immediately becomes a defensive juggernaut, in my opinion. Depending on what they do with their center position, I would like for them to find a way to keep Wiseman, even though he's coming off the injury. Big men getting leg injuries early is scary, but for the skill set that he has, he's highly offensive, and I think he'll improve defensively as well as he gets stronger. He's so young, so the injury, all he has to do is get his legs right, get his conditioning right, and he can start that process, and hopefully he can string together some good, healthy seasons, and we'll see the best out of him going forward for sure. So I don't want to give up on a player that gifted this early for any reason, but especially not for a player who's struggling like Ben Simmons. I think that's a bad decision. Um, but I understand the injury will determine how they view him. So there, that is. What else, man? I think the Golden State Warriors should be happy about how their season ended. Since we're talking about them, I don't think they should feel hang their hat. They got close. They got in the play-in game. They did not win against the Memphis Grizzlies. The Memphis Grizzlies were a strong team, surging at that moment. They had come off a tough game against the Lakers, so I get it. They shouldn't hang their hat. They do have Clay coming back, of course. They did, as I said, had some guys have some career years. So all things considered, they didn't start the season off very well. They got a good draft pick in this draft coming up, and because of it, and so hey, they look great. They look great. They got a Hall of Famer coming back. They look great, and you're gonna have to deal with them in the Western Conference. And if they do get Ben Simmons, and they have a legitimate plan for him, and lowered expectations, sky's the limit. Sky's complete limit. Because I think we've hit rock bottom with Ben Simmons personally. I don't think it gets any worse than this, and it only gets better from here. And I've seen him at his best, and I know what he can do. And you put shooters around this dude like that, and keep in mind this: basketball players play basketball, bro. And the good thing about an NBA season is that the good thing about an NBA season is that there's 82 games to play. Lots and lots of basketball ahead of a guy like Ben Simmons. He is healthy. He's healthy in this offseason. He might be kind of hurt, as far as his ego is concerned, and having to look at himself and say, I got to make some changes basketball-wise, but his body is ready to go. And he's going to be working out all offseason if he's ready to go, which he seems like he was saying, right after that game, he was ready to work out and not going to the Olympics. I think he's doing all the right things in this offseason. He's been quiet, and he seems like he's working. So whoever gets Ben Simmons, I think the worst is probably going to be staying back in Philadelphia. You get a better guy than you saw. But it all depends on how he reacts to what just happened, really. So, yeah, man, my name is BDF44. I think I've said enough, man. The Golden State Warriors, I don't know if I'm excited if I'm a Golden State Warriors to get Ben Simmons after what I saw. He's a long-term project. It's not something that I'm looking at that's going to help us this year. I'm more so looking at him as somebody who's going to accompany the stars that we have and kind of just be a successor to Draymond. That's it. He gives me Draymond insurance. No higher expectations than that. My name is BDF44. Thank you guys for watching. Out.